But I can tell you with certainty, I'm getting lots of calls on listings. I got showings. There's buyers who want to buy. There's definitely a way to sell your property right now. So for me, in the detached housing market, freehold markets, I don't think anybody should say, "Oh, you can't sell a home right now," or you're going to have issues. No, if you do the right stuff to get it sold, you're going to get a property sold, no problem.
I mean, I see my daughter running around like crazy. I know you're
Yeah,
busy as hell, but what's the
yeah.
actual market doing?
We're getting offers. We got offer dates. One tonight doesn't look like anything's coming in, but it's a property that's been on the market before. It's just a tough sell, busy street. Another one tomorrow is in
Holding back
Etobicoke.
offers
The
still?
one that I was talking to Bailey about with yesterday or the day before. There's an offer date. One that's already had a couple preemptive offers. Um, we've got price drops. I dropped one 10% today, so it
Whoa.
went from 2.5 down to 2.25.
Hmm.
Right? So again, no offers 60 days. It's a price issue, right? Um, Buyers of mine were supposed to make an offer on a place today that they backed out, but it just wasn't the right fit, and there's no offers registered yet, but still early. So it's hard to really get a good sense of the market when you're dealing just with one team or even just one agent, with one set of listings. You got to look at everything. You got to look at the monthly data. You got to look at different housing types, and it takes time. And we can always go back after about a few months and look back and say, hey, this is what the market was doing at that exact time. Right now, there's a lot of things that are harder to be able to gauge, but I can tell you with certainty, I'm getting lots of calls on listings. I got showings. There's buyers who want to buy. There's definitely a way to sell your property right now. So for me, in the detached housing market, freehold markets, I don't think anybody should say, "Oh, you can't sell a home right now," or you're going to have issues. No, if you do the right stuff to get it sold, you're going to get a property sold, no problem. Condos is a different story. I looked at a guy today in a condo in the 905, and prices have dropped a lot since last year, and where he's at right now is well below what he was expecting. He's probably worth the same price that he paid in 2021.
And what about like inventory right now? Because we saw like a big surge in January, and then I heard first
Hmm.
week of February was pretty insane how much inventory came on the market. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we are getting more inventory, but it's not exploding. It's just a lot of calls. A lot of people. I had a lady middle of the night text me the other night, like, we need to sell. It's time. Da 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 da. And it's like back and forth with her for the last couple of years because of a need to sell, And then it's like, no, okay, we can wait a little bit longer now. And it's like, oh my God, like, some people they're right at the end of it. They're just hanging on. One thing people really underestimate is Canadians' resilience. Like they really care about their homes. They do. The pride of home ownership is so freaking high. People right now are underwater. They're, losing, like they're spending more money on their house than they're making every month. So they're building up debt as they go, and they're just hanging on. They're just
Yeah.
hanging on. And so it's just like, how long does that take? Well, unless something drastically changes, eventually they are going to be forced to sell. It's just the reality of the situation. But
So,
they're
but no,
really
no,
hanging on way longer than a logical person would say they should be.
but no noticeable jump in inventory since end of January.
There's inventory that's coming on, but like I wouldn't say it's alarming. No.
And then it seems like there's lots of people in purchase mode, but not really willing to meet the pricing that's out there. Is that kind of
No.
what's happening, or?
No, I got places, that are getting good offers. I'd say if anything, um, you know, if your house is not selling right now, it's maybe because the seller's expectations are just too high. But when
Right,
you look at what's been selling around the neighborhood, the buyers are willing to pay those prices.
right.
That's the difference, right?
And so is the
It's when
difference
it's when last week the house sold for 1 million, and now the buyers are like, "Whoa, 1 million, that's too much." That's an issue. But if the last week the house sold for 1 million, the buyers are all like, "Yeah, 1 million, like I'll take it all day long." But the sellers are like, "But I want 1.2," and so then it's like, "Well, that guy just got 1 million." So that's what you got to be a little bit more cautious of. In certain areas, you're going to have easier time to evaluate a property. There's going to be a lot of sales, and people are going to be able to say, well, this is what it's worth because that's really super clear. Other areas, it's not so clear, so they need an agent to make it work. I mean, I put in two offers today for buyers.
for what kind of product?
One's a vacant land. The other one's like a rebuild type of house that like needs to be torn down,
Vacant
or
land to build like one house or to
one
build a
house,
subdivision?
one house. Yeah.
Hmm.
Right. So people are buying. I got, like I said, my listings. I got people interested. I got offers coming in. I got people asking me questions. I got people thinking about it. Second showings. It's there, but some of them aren't selling because my sellers' expectations are too high, and I can see that. Like I said, I just dropped one for 10%. So obviously, may not be the only listing I got right now that needs that. And other properties are, getting activity, which I'm expecting offers on some of them soon.
Are you looking for the best merch store on the planet? Well, we got the shit for you. Coming in at low prices where we barely make any money off of whatsoever, you can get the greatest real estate merchandise on this platform. Just look at this very flamboyant man putting on this great stuff. He looks great, he's dancing great, and boy does he look sexy in that merchandise. I tell you, buy this for anybody, you buy this for yourself. You will be not only repping the greatest Canadian real estate podcast in this world, but you will also be looking hella good doing it.